I was age 1 and I decided to grab some sticks and some plant fiber. I'm doing this so I can make my first weapon. I know I'm just a baby right now, but it's best to start. My tribe was called Peace, and it was nice and simple, but there was one problem. We had no town hall. The town hall is very important because without it, we can't get better stuff in the game. We would be stuck on tier 1 items and loot instead of tier 2 items and loot. I knew I had to craft some armor and some weapons for protection before I leave this tribe. By age 5, I had my first weapon, a wooden club. This was much better than the wooden knife you start with. And by age 6, I was killing cows and grabbing their bones, meat, paws, and animal hide. And at 8 years old, I drank water for the first time. That was pretty nice. I went back to killing cows. I needed more bones because with enough, I can make some bone armor. And by age 10, I finally had the armor. It looks awesome, right? Right? Guess what? I'm now 11 years old and I needed even more bones, so I killed some more cows. With my 3 new bones, I was able to make a wolf headdress at the age of 12. I'm now at a total of 22.5 armor, which is pretty good. Well guys, I was 14 years old when I finally decided to leave my Peace tribe. I started heading to the glowing yellow outline, which was a leader from a different tribe. This journey took me a few years of walking and I stopped to get a drink on the way. I was 16 when I reached the tribe of Babelville. It was a nice small area, but again, no town hall. The good news, however, is that they did have tier 2 crafting tables, job boards, and building plans. When I turned 17, I finished grabbing up some sticks and some small rocks to craft myself a spear. This was a better weapon than the club, dealing 20 damage, whereas the club dealt 15 damage only. I turned 18 and celebrated briefly, before grabbing some more loot to make my new piece of armor. At age 19, I crafted my newest armor piece, a tunic. I also remembered I picked up a red flower earlier on when I was still at the Peace tribe. So I made some dye out of that, and by age 20, I had a red tunic and 32.5 armor. I was 22 now and grabbing some more rocks and sticks so I can make myself a stone pickaxe and a stone axe. And when I turned 23 going to 24, I had my first child. I never actually named him, but I'll just call him Clint. Clint is a pretty cool name. I told my child he would grow to be a strong warrior because I wasn't going to raise no weak kid. Anyway, I was 25 years old when I got myself my stone pickaxe. But I noticed my son was calling someone a thief. I asked him what happened and he said, "Someone stole from him?" I couldn't let this slide. I gave my son my old wooden club that got me through my early life, and I made a promise to remove the man who hurt my child. When I turned 29 years old, I asked the man if he can help me collect some rocks. I didn't even need rocks, I just needed him to be far enough away from the rest of the group. I had to do this for Clint. At age 30, we went and grabbed some rocks together. And by age 31, I saw him just far enough back next to a big rock when I told him not to mess with my son because actions have consequences. We fought, and while I lost half of my health, he lost all of his. I picked up all of his loot and put it in my wagon. Let's go. I just killed the man because he robbed my son. But hey, now it was time to go surprise Clint. I told my boy that he has nothing to worry about with these bullies anymore, and I gave him his brand new armor. I was getting chased around by someone, and I grew pretty paranoid. Did someone see what I did? Do they know I killed one of our own? By age 34, I started to go a little crazy, and I attacked my stalker. After a few hit exchanges, we settled our differences, and I walked away. He was being weird, and I don't know why he followed me, but I just don't like it. I was talking to my son for a bit, and just lived life peacefully the next few years. Nothing much happened at all, to be honest. When I turned 39, however, I ran into my first barbarian encounter. The barbarians were scary people. They don't live at one spot. They travel around the world stealing food, items, even children get taken away by barbs, and the ones who don't get taken, they get killed. This barbarian was quite foolish though, trying to attack the leader of Babelville, because I was nearby and he was able to help eliminate them from this messed up world. I took the Great Club, which would be my best weapon for years to come. Well, until later, but I won't spoil that yet. I also grabbed the Barbarian's chestplate. I'm now at 35 armor, and my weapon deals 25 damage, where my spear only did 20. I was 41 years old now, and my son has turned 18. Congratulations, my boy. You're a real man now. When I turned 42, me and my now manly son traveled back to the Peace tribe as he wanted to know more of my roots. When I turned 43, I became the leader of Babelville. It turns out we left right before a battle broke out there. So that was pretty lucky, I guess. By age 44, I reached the Peace tribe and immediately saw a barbarian fighting someone. So me and my son did what was only natural and we murdered both of them. I realized that this place was empty, Where was everyone? Just then, I saw the Peace Tribe's leader and his son. We conversed for a bit about how this place was once populated with some more people and what has happened since. I was 46 at this point when all of a sudden another barbarian attacked us. Without hesitation, my boy Clint took out his spear, which I have gifted him years prior from that thief I killed, and he fought that barb. He just kept stabbing him over and over. I tried to help Clint. I tried to attack, but Clint just kept pushing with the barb. He wouldn't take a step back. He was so determined. But he didn't make it. I watched my boy die at the age of 24 years old. And at 47, I finished what my son was so determined to do. I killed that barbarian. Well, anyways, I ended up birthing a new boy at 47 years old, but I was pretty depressed for the next few years. I spoke to my new friend, who was actually the peace leader's son, who looked oddly like my son who just died. Weird. After a few more years of relaxing, I was now 52 years old, and another barbarian was here to attack us. They just wanted us dead for some reason. The leader was the target this time, and I helped him in fighting this barb off. They were no match for us. We wouldn't let our guard down ever again. Well, I wouldn't at least. I told the leader at age 53 that I was going to leave this tribe once again and live my life as a nomad, just a lone wanderer. I wanted to live a peaceful life alone, and protect only myself. My conversation got interrupted by yet another barbarian, and at age 54 I realized I just can't leave these people behind. I have to help protect these people instead. So I told them I would stay, for now, and I would help them build a fortress, a safe place where no barb could enter. I built a gate and walls too, and at age 57, my leader has fallen. Stroke? Heart attack? Or maybe he just got bored and went to bed, who knows. Since I was the leader now of the Peace Tribe, I wanted to finish my project. I built some roads, I got some more walls placed down, I threw some saplings down for some trees. I spent years working on the outer layer of this base and even spent some time to upgrade the town hall to tier 2. I chopped trees endlessly and kept throwing logs to my friends so we can all chip in and build a functioning community. After all, we are the Peace Tribe. At age 65, you'd think I would retire, but nope, I kept working hard. My town hall is tier 2 now as well. Yay! At age 67, oh god. At age 67, I built a dye vat. This was going to be used for dyeing the tunics to a red color, like I did years and years ago. I was doing this so my teammates can match with me and we would all look the same. By age 72, I made a dyed tunic and I gave it to Clint 2.0. That's what I'm going to be calling the leader's son because he's kind of my son and, well, he looks just like my boy Clint. Our place was looking quite nice so far. But I wasn't done yet. I destroyed some stuff in the pathway and built a new road in its place. Stuff was starting to look really good. I was 77 years old now and putting stuff into the chest, just doing my duties. I also forgot to mention, but more people have joined the tribe. Just like 2 more people, but still. At age 79, a barbarian entered, and because my son was killed by one, I no longer trusted them. So, we killed them. I spent some more time building and working on the base, and by age 82, someone has told me of a child killer. They told me that my reborn son, Clint 2.0, was a child killer. I refused to believe the child, and I just ignored it. At age 83, I ran into another barbarian, but this one was different. This one was not only stacked in bronze gear, but was also friendly. He told me that he wanted to be a part of us, and in exchange, we help him in some attacks. He just needed a team he could trust. We didn't buy it at first, and after lots of talking, we agreed. Oh yeah, we only agreed because he gave us a bunch of armor. This guy just dropped hundreds of Robux on us, and he just gave us the best armor in the entire game just to earn our trust. Shout out Crypt, bro. Welcome to peace. So now I have the best bronze armor. So by age 90, I was stacked in bronze gear, and I now had 55.5 armor in total. Let's go. He wanted to attack some places, specifically Bappleville, and we thought that would be quite fun. Well, I thought it would help make this video interesting. Some others didn't want to fight. They were talking about stuff saying, oh, we're the peace tribe, we shouldn't fight, blah, blah, blah. But I agreed to be with him, especially because of the bribe of armor. Clint 2.0 didn't like this idea. He was quite mad. The alleged child killer, as described by G. Chris many years ago, was growing quite angry at me. He wasn't my son anymore, but his father left him, so he actually kinda was. I spent a bit more time working on stuff. I noticed my son was speaking to another tribe member, Saturn. They talked a long time in chat, but I couldn't tell what they were saying. It was mostly private chats. It's like they were whispering and I just couldn't hear them. I had a feeling that Saturn would turn on us, on me and Clint 2.0. I was prepared to help my boy. He said I'm talking about Tyler at one point. Silly Clint protecting me. Anyway, at age 103, Saturn has told me that Clint 2.0 wanted to turn on me. I spent years working on these walls, and now my warrior Saturn dares to accuse my reborn son as a child killer and someone out to kill me? His father? I didn't really buy it, but I was a little skeptical. At age 106, my barbarian friend Crypt has returned, and he told me that there were more peace members not far from here. In fact, they were very close. And I met up with them. It was actually so insane that we had more members of the tribe, but we've never met them ever before. The last leader must have separated us. After a couple years of talking about war strategies and all that nonsense, I was growing quite thirsty. And at age 109, I grabbed some water from the nearby river. It was calming, peaceful, quiet. I took a couple sips when I turned around and I saw my reborn son, Clint 2.0, take out his weapon. As he jumped into the water with his weapon out, I realized everything Saturn has told me years prior was true. Everything Chris told me was true. My once son was a kid killer and a father killer. He tried to assassinate me right in front of the team. It was hard to do this, especially to your own kid, but me, Chris, and Saturn beat Clint 2.0. We beat him down for trying to be a traitor. We killed him in the river, and we took all of his gear. I was 110 years old at this point, and I was feeling quite sad. I just killed my own boy, but I had to do it. I mean, he turned into something evil. Was it my fault? Did I do something wrong? Or was he plotting this for far longer than I have expected? I'll never know. But at least I know he's no longer here. Clint 2.0 will never see the light of day again. After a brief moment of reflection and thanking Saturn for saving my life, and Chris as well, I went back to my barbarian friend and other peace members and we talked about finally going to war. After all, I did just get in some good fighting practice a few years prior. After lots and lots of talk, we started our journey. At this point, I was 117 years old. We walked along the river and found another tribe. This was our Relic Empire? Who are they? It turns out they are allies with Bappelville. That was my old tribe from years ago that I joined at around age 16 or so. We were hunting them down. Ever since that thief and stalker messed with me and Clint, I wanted to make them all suffer. By age 123, we were in the desert and exploring for a bit. We found a couple people running away. Was this Bappelville? Or was it another tribe? I didn't really care, to be honest. I wanted them dead. So at age 125, that's what I did. I killed one, took his bronze sword, which deals 38 damage by the way, and I chased the other one for years. I wanted him gone. Crypt even told me to leave him, but I was so determined to get this kill. And as I was 127 years old, this guy made a fatal mistake. He tried to jump and swim away in the water. I pounced on him and stabbed him repeatedly. He was dead. Well, at age 130, we made our way back to the Relic Empire. When we decided, well, they should probably die too. I didn't personally have an issue with the Relic Empire, but at the same time, they were allied with Bappelville, and some of their members lived there too. So it was time to kill them all.
What the hell? Dude, we agreed to be peaceful.
Plans changed. I needed content for my video.
Prowl.
At age 133, they were all dead, and the kingdom has fallen. We were victorious in our battle. We did it! That fight took a lot out of me. I was growing very old at this point and couldn't see myself fighting for too much longer. By age 138, me and the barbarian crypt have left this place. Our member Saturn has left at this point. Stroke? Heart attack? Or maybe he just got bored and went to bed. So we took his armor, and we promised to carry on its legacy through another Peace member. We were traveling back to the Peace Tribe's second base, but I realized something. G. Chris didn't follow us. It seems he has died. Through natural causes or another player, I won't ever know. I felt pretty sad again, because he was with us for so many years. But I was 140 years old at this point, and I was starting to get weaker. At age 145, my barbarian buddy Crypt told me he was going to do one last battle. One last fight or die trying. He left suddenly after that. I could have gone with him, but my body was giving out. I was feeling weaker and weaker by the year. After a few years of relaxing, I was 149 at this point, and for the first time ever, I was alone. Alone. It was just me and the Peace Tribe, no one else, and my barbarian buddy was long gone for years now, with no plans to come back. I didn't even know if he was alive or dead. I'm now 150 years old. I grew weaker and weaker. I knew that my time has come to an end. I went out to the river and thought for a moment. I lived in this world for 150 years. I was a lonely child, a brave hunter, an explorer, a father, a fighter, a leader, a strong warrior, and so much more. And after 150 years, I realized my tribe's name finally. It wasn't about being peaceful to others or living a peaceful life. It was about this moment, right here, right now, at 150 years old, I finally felt at peace with myself, with everybody, and everything. I was at peace. Goodbye, everybody.